What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 10 of the Stoppage Time Stooges. Christian Ricardo sans Jacob, unfortunately. Jacob has other matters to attend to on this Thanksgiving week. How dare him betray his Stoppage Time Stooges brothers for travel?
What a shame.
What a shame. What a shame. Could go on a whole rant of the week just on that. But he'll be back next week, and it's okay. But man, the international break, spicy.
Dreadful.
Spicy international window. Spicy all around. Injuries,
Oh, good.
awful performances,
Yeah.
point deductions.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, everything. You
You
name it.
We got it.
You name it, we got it. Exactly. But before we get into everything, we got to talk about the U.S. I mean, what a joke. Okay, they won 3-0 on.
I'm glad you're touching on.
Yeah, they won 3-0 on, what was this, Thursday now? Yeah, it was Thursday.
Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't score until the 80th minute. I was calling that, and even though they won 3-0, still an absolute disgrace that it was only 3-0 up a man. And like, it was just, you're playing guys. I was telling Ricardo this right before. You're playing guys who are in USL League One, local Trinidad and Tobago clubs. Like, come on, these are not these are not world beaters here. Come on now. With the quality the US has, albeit with a few injuries, we know Pulisic wasn't there. We know Tim Weah wasn't there. You still should be able to, crack them open against Trinidad and Tobago. So I think the first match was an absolute joke, and I didn't think anything would, top that until I saw the second match. But boys, please hop right in about the first match.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll guess I'll go first, Ricardo. Just not good enough, particularly in the first half of that game.
Yeah.
I think we saw much better tempo on the ball, in particular, in the second half of that game. But again, like I wanted to see personally more from Paredes and Tillman in an opportunity that in a fully fit squad they would not have got. Maybe Tillman finds a way somewhere, but that's certainly not Paredes. Just very disappointing overall. There weren't many good performances individually. And again, it took till the 80th minute. So 3-0 pleases the US a little more than it should. Just not good enough. And again, as you mentioned, much worse in the second leg. But Trinidad set up well to defend, which we knew was going to be their plan going in, play 9-10 back and try to hit on the counter maybe in the second half. Because, they were going to try to sneak maybe an away goal off set piece and then try to, create chaos going into the second leg, which I thought they did very well for 45 minutes, frankly, for 80 minutes. But again, great from Ricardo Pepi, who's been excellent off the bench, which now has 5 goals off the bench in a calendar year, most in U.S. history. I mean, he's been incredible. Super sub, and Everton was very good as well. Those were the two guys that stood out for me, and they only played for a handful of minutes. So disappointing overall, though.
Real quick, you mentioned. I'm glad you mentioned the lineups and the formation. I did not get. I didn't get this at the time. Especially don't get it now. Malik Tillman at the wing. I mean, if you're doing that, why not just play Gio at the wing? Who is clearly, I mean, yes, he's not his best at the wing, but he's a much more comfortable player at the wing than Malik Tillman, who's very clearly a midfielder. And I mean, Tillman's already playing the 10, so he could just literally swap with Reyna. So I didn't get that at first. I thought that's what Greg was going to do when the lineups came out, and I was actually very excited about that. But Malik Tillman was clearly very uncomfortable playing the wing. And I think that's to no fault really of his own. I think that's more coaching, but
yeah,
go on.
Oof. I mean, I'm
I feel like we have to touch on this second game because I mean, yeah, the first leg.
Oh yeah,
No,
we'll
no,
get
I
into
know,
the
but
second
like
leg.
the first leg, yeah. I mean, it's certainly they should have won by more. I mean, but it's certainly disappointing that it took 80 minutes for finally the U.S. to find the back of the net. But I mean, they still got 3 goals. I mean, at the end of the day, a win it was still pretty big. And gave them a really good, really big cushion going into the second leg, especially going to Trinidad and Tobago. That's I mean, go anywhere in Concacaf. Really, it's just like it's a much different environment. And I mean, I'm sure we'll touch on the pitch and then the second leg, and then there's these subtle differences that maybe people don't pick out, but um, that, again, they did give themselves like something to hang on to essentially in the end. But I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about the second leg, or do you guys have any
Well,
other thoughts?
it ended up saving their asses, the 3-0 win. But I don't know. Did you guys watch the behind the crest that US Soccer put out?
No.
It's actually very interesting from the leg one. Actually, not that interesting, but there was one moment that really caught my eye, and it was at halftime. And Greg is trying to hype the guys up. He's like, if you score one, it'll come in bunches. Like, wow, that's the first time he was right about something. He's like, wow, good job, Greg. But moving on. Yeah, no, poor performance all around. And I mean, Aronson and Pepe were great. Like Gio's our best player this window. I'd say even the second leg before he was subbed out, he was our best player on the
Yeah.
pitch.
Yeah.
And let's get right into that second leg. I mean, what the hell was Sergiño Dest doing? That was one of the most inexplicable things I have seen in a while. In the most random, like set of circumstances.
Context was so confusing.
Yeah.
Like,
Childish, beyond childish. Like,
the most bizarre red card I've ever witnessed, probably.
I mean, he absolutely deserved the red card.
Oh,
yeah. Let's be honest. Let's start right there. He absolutely deserved. Yeah, give him what's beyond red. Like literally, just like anything.
He got a super red card.
Super red. There you go. He deserved to get off the pitch because oh boy, when you start arguing to your teammates.
oh yeah,
not just when one. It was like 4 or 5.
Literally,
fight him. Like
he was trying to fight his teammates. I'm like, that is an absolute disgrace. I was hoping he would quickly apologize and let it, quickly subside. And luckily for him, he posted it on Instagram a I'm sorry message of him walking off the pitch, and I guess he apologized in the locker room after the match, and Greg in his post-game presser was very adamant in saying, he wants to have this quickly subside. But before getting into like more of the match, I wouldn't bring him to the semifinals or finals for Nations League.
Is he suspended for both? It's 2 legs.
No,
right?
He's suspended just for the semi. I believe.
But the semifinal is 1 leg, correct? Or is it 2?
Yes, 1 leg.
Yeah.
It's single elimination.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we'll touch on him, but Joe Scally he's obviously not as good going forward.
On the ball, no.
Yes.
I mean, Dest had a brilliant cross to Anthony Robinson, 10 minutes, 15 minutes beforehand?
Yeah.
And he just undid all of his good work. And frankly, his delivery over the last couple windows has been excellent. I remember some moments against Ghana where he was good. I mean, even when we were in person against Germany, particularly in that first half, he had some good combination. But
he had a very powerful strike in the first leg that got saved. But,
right. And again, I think a lot of people in the last couple days have questioned his defending, and rightfully so. I mean, he's not great in 1v1s. But again, Scally, has him there. So if Scally plays well in the semifinal, I would absolutely play him in the final, whether you have Dest there or not. And then I guess the question begs: do you play Joe Scally in the Copa America? I mean, I don't know how long his leash is now, given his history. We would describe it as now, because he's gotten 2 reds. The first one's a little more understandable because it was a very heated match against Mexico, but against Trinidad, I mean, he should not have kicked the ball out of the stadium. I mean, it's understandable to get upset with the referee, but I mean,
the most minuscule thing.
Yeah, again, selfish, inexcusable. I mean, every negative word you can imagine is coming for him, and deservedly. But again, I just can't believe it, especially for a guy who's played for Barcelona, Milan, Ajax. He's now at PSV. He's doing well, and it just. He's not a teenager anymore who you can, slap on the wrist. He's like 20. He's 23. Like, you got to grow up here, and really, this is unacceptable, and it cannot happen again. Otherwise, he's in for more consequences.
Well, and up to that point, the U.S., I mean, overall, are playing well, like decently well for the circumstances, and I mean, they were up 1-0, but I mean, that totally changed the fortunes of the team. And then Greg keeping the 2 strikers up top. So what was it, the 65th minute? Like, are you kidding me? And like Pepe, like I said in the chat, to no fault of his own, was getting gassed, and it's just he's not fit for 90. He's not,
and in those conditions too.
In these, absolutely not. He should have been subbed out way earlier. Yep, I totally agree. Halftime, I totally agree. Sub him out with they ended up subbing him out with Malik Tillman. And I believe I believe 2 subs came in at that point. I'm trying to remember who else came out. Did Aronson come out at that point? No, Aronson didn't. Who, by the way, Aronson was also poor throughout. I mean,
had a couple chances early. He probably should have put away.
Chances at net. I mean, he should have let the ball run to his left foot, but instead he struck it with his right, a little behind him. Got saved. A few other chances in there.
It was a single sub with Pepe. Sorry,
single sub. Okay, yeah, they must have subbed later. I'm thinking of, but yeah, and too many giveaways. Like, it was some poor dribbling from him. So yeah, I'm not gonna stick it all on one person, because everyone except for really Gio Reyna, who was the first to get subbed out, pretty poor throughout. And I mean, Jedi played decently well as well, and got his goal. But no, just poor throughout. And then, man, when Trinidad got those 2 goals, it was so demoralizing. And
that free kick, I'm sorry. That was
oh my god.
Turner, I mean,
just punch it out. Punch it out. You don't need to try to catch that. Just or keep it in front. Just punch it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I was thinking about this, and I was telling this to Ricardo earlier. It's quite impressive that this was the first time we actually all get on Matt Turner's back about something. Got on Matt Turner's back about something. He's done very well internationally for us, and this is really the first time from what I can remember of Matt Turner at net that we could really blame him for a goal, which is very impressive to his credit. So I there should not be any talk of changing goalkeepers, especially since all of our other goalkeepers except for Horvath are quite young,
and not playing at club level,
not experienced. Exactly.
Turner's now not doing that either.
What's up?
Now Turner's going to be in that situation as well,
right? Exactly.
I don't know if that's his name, but it's the Greek number 1. Who's now taking, because Turner's been bad for Forest recently, so that's going to be a big concern going into March. He's going to have to find his way back in the team.
But even yes, it's concerning. But even then, I think he's still playing well enough internationally where, he's still going to be our number one.
Oh yeah, no question.
No matter what happens club level. I mean, so I'm not really thinking about that with Turner, but just overall poor. I love what Tim Ream said post game. Trying to make Dest accountable. Talking about professionalism. I'm like, that's what a captain should say, and I think he was absolutely in the right. Man, I don't know about you guys. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. So yeah. It was bewildering to me in that important position. You're trying to qualify for the Nations League semis and Copa America. Yeah. And that happens. Can you trust this guy at a World Cup? I don't know.
Can you trust him against Copa America teams that are going to? Yeah. I mean, there are going to be players that like to wind him up, and they're going to know now that they can get after him. Like, it's hard to reason with starting him in a Copa America quarterfinal, a semifinal, if they can get somewhere like that. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do when you get to, a round of 16 match in 2026, looking all the way long term?
Yeah.
There's not enough trust right now. He's going to have to really show a level of maturity over the next months and years to really run that back. Otherwise, they're going to have to look at alternatives. And it sucks, too, because he's not only their best right back, and I think that doesn't change now. I think he's still, by and large, their best.
Absolutely.
I think Scally's still good and young, so he could, improve. And he's also probably our backup left back, too, and he's pretty good there. So it's really an unfortunate situation for someone that I think we've loved to watch over the last, 2 years now. He's been great ever since coming in, scored some great goals. He just needs to really, look inside himself and kind of figure out how to handle, because there was no players that were winding him up. It was a referee.
No.
What happens when, Vinicius or a Darwin Nunez, someone like that, does something where you lose all of your understanding of what you want to do in that moment? He can't make that mistake again. If he does it again, he's done. I just don't know how you can continue to play him.
And not even player environments. How about the supporter environment?
Yes.
Yeah. With all those CONMEBOL supporters around you in the U.S.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
I mean, literally, I know before we started recording, I was going through Twitter, and I saw Argentina and Brazil got postponed because of fights from supporters in the crowd. And the police, Brazilian police, were trying to stop Argentinian fans. But point is, like, what crowd's getting on you, how is Dest going to respond to that? Is he going to kick a ball into the stands, So, inexplicable, disrespectful to his teammates, the federation, to supporters of the U.S. And there will be consequences. Now, I did think about leaving him off Copa America. I still would bring him to Copa America.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's too harsh.
Yeah, I thought about it at first, but at this point, bring him, and make this like his second strike. If he lashes out in Copa America, then I say that's done. You're not coming to the World Cup, because he's not gonna be able to handle the World Cup
this early into the process, which I honestly wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. So, and even then, I think 2026, could be after post 26. That's in question with qualifying, with Concacaf qualifying. Who knows with Dest at that point and what our young players are doing. Yeah. But just poor all around in Trinidad, and they ended up losing 2-1 in the second leg, but they still advanced on aggregate 4-2. So the U.S. will indeed be playing in Copa America and will be at AT&T Stadium after all for the Nations League semis. that'll be interesting. What potentially could be, the stadium for the World Cup final. So it could be a good preview for that. Hopefully, Mexico gets past Honduras here.
It just won't. It just won't.
If Honduras scores an away goal, it's done. I mean,
Yeah, and Mexico has to score 4 then. But that's a whole different conversation. But
I can't wait to watch this. It starts at 9:30. I can't wait to
I
see
am not watching
Azteca
this.
go ballistic on the squad.
Absolute
man.
travesty of a federation. Anyway, besides the point.
Yeah. So I think the U.S. should be the favorites to win the Nations League once again at this point, especially if Mexico doesn't advance. We'll see how Canada, Jamaica perform and all that. But any other thoughts about Nations League, Copa America?
I think we've had plenty.
Yeah, I mean they did reveal the opening match stadium and the stadium for the finals for Copa America. Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, where Atlanta United and the Atlanta Falcons play, will be home at the opening match, while Hard Rock Stadium in Miami will be the stadium for the final. Wonder how that happened. That's crazy. But yeah, who knows? Maybe Argentina gets grouped, but that'd be great, wouldn't it? Argentina getting grouped in Copa America when the finals in Miami. That'd be pretty awesome.
It's rigged.
Yeah, USA groups them. Oh, that'd be great. Moving on. We'll talk a little Euro, a little bit of Euro qualifying. But we watched Italy versus Ukraine yesterday as well. This was kind of like our teaser for USA and Trinidad and Tobago, and this was a much better match than the US and Trinidad and Tobago match all around. But man, I feel so bad for Ukraine. Ricardo was saying it. He was all over it. He was like 90+3, Ukraine will score.
And I said they written all over it for Italy.
And to be honest, they should have had it. 90+3. They should have had the penalty, but it ended 0-0. But fun match, 0-0.
I'm confused though. Like, how did that work? Because the VAR check, like, it was so like quick.
So quick.
Like,
I don't think there was even a check.
I thought the commentators said there was, and it was just like
no. He said they're not making a check. That's what he said.
But there is VAR, right?
There was VAR, but they decided not to make a check.
That's what I'm confused about then. So there was clear contact.
For literally everything they get VAR to assist on, they don't get it to assist on that, which is absolutely a travesty. To Ukrainian supporters.
That's such a huge moment in the game. That's potentially. That's literally the difference between Ukraine making it automatically or having to go to playoffs. That's just monumental. But I just very, very confused, and I just don't understand it. Frankly.
No. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. You have to go at least to the monitor. I mean, if you want to say it's not a clear penalty and maybe there is some accidental contact, I don't know what the reasoning is for not going to the monitor. It doesn't make any sense to me. What I will say too is Italy to me looked real vulnerable, and it looked like they were playing for a draw for large periods of the game, which is fine. I mean, they're just trying to get a job done, and I think they knew that Ukraine was going to push numbers forward and really attack them 65 minutes and beyond, because what do they have to lose? And I thought Ukraine were really impressive. I backed them to get through to the playoff. I don't know who they play and what that route looks like, but I think they have the attacking threats. Mudryk looks much more confident on the ball. I mean, he still has his moments where, a poor cross, a poor shot. But, I mean, that's something that many players deal with at his age. I think he's starting to really improve. I like their shape. I just think Ukraine's in a position where if the matchup is good, and it's one that allows them to attack and really beat teams on the counter. I think Ukraine's going to find their way in the Euros, which is awesome given everything that country's dealt with recently. As for Italy, I said this in the group chat yesterday. It's just difficult, and it's it's been a rough situation for Spalletti, given how quick this turnaround's been with Mancini leaving, going to Saudi Arabia, and then he has to come in, never working. I don't know if he's ever worked an international job.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, and it's just this team doesn't have a striker. Frankly, Immobile is nowhere to be found. The only bright spot to me is the midfield. The defensive shape is good at times, and Chiesa, who looks like he looks pretty close to 2021 Euro. I mean, the dynamic he plays with, the dynamism. I mean, it looks pretty close to what we saw a couple years ago before the injuries. So that's really cool to see because he was one of the next big things, especially in Italy. So I don't know where they look in terms of the Euros. They have to figure out a striker situation by then. And if they don't, it's hard to see them, going beyond a quarterfinal. They can't rely on their defense. You have to score goals in these kind of tournaments in order to win. So I think Italy needs to figure out a lot of things over the next couple months.
Well, I can tell you right now, Ukraine. So the draw for the playoffs will be this Thursday. So Thanksgiving in the U.S. And just looking at, so I'm going to list off all the nations who've qualified for playoffs. So Ukraine, as we mentioned, Poland, Wales, Greece, Estonia, Israel, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Luxembourg, and Finland. So, I mean,
do you know how many of those teams get in?
I believe it is 3. Yep, 3.
Okay.
So, and let's see. Here. So there will be So there will be 6 semifinal matches in these playoffs, and then there will be 3 finals, and those determine the 3 teams. So, yeah. So and they'll be happening at the same time. This will be happening the March international window, same time as the Nations League semis and final. So March 21st for the playoff semis, and then March 26th for the playoff final. But so I think based on those teams, Ukraine has a good chance.
Oh yeah,
very good chance to make it. I mean, at this point, I probably rate them over Wales, to be honest. Probably. That's probably their closest comp. But
I mean, Poland's all Lewandowski.
No, and I think if Lewandowski's healthy, Poland is the top team in that playoff.
Yeah. They'll find their way in, yeah.
But quality-wise, Ukraine's probably closest to Wales. I mean, Greece will be a challenge, I guess. But, I mean, other than that, I think it should be fairly easy for Ukraine. If they can somehow avoid drawing Poland, Wales, or Greece. So, Ukraine still has a good shot, but much tougher after drawing Italy. All right. I think any other talk on the Euros real quick? Harry Maguire. What a funny sequence.
There's a lot of talk about England. This on my feed.
Yeah, England. Yeah. North Macedonia, fun.
Yes.
We'll go on to talk about England, but I'd rather not talk about the English national team. I want to talk about,
We did enough of that last week.
No, enough of that. That was plenty. We probably gave them too much time. But Christian, I want you to lead off with Everton. Your rivals, the Liverpool rivals, Everton. How about this?
Yeah, I can't believe I don't remember what day it was. I think it was last week. Just waking up in the morning and seeing that. I mean,
last Friday.
I think during COVID and stuff, we heard, little snippets about Everton's financial situations and whatnot. And, they were spending a lot of money, a couple years ago. And you always worried because, they weren't getting fees back and all the different things. But again, and we'll touch on this in detail, that was not the team I thought was going to be getting a point deduction or any kind of, punishment for something like this. We're going to see what happens going forward in the months, whether it takes months, years. There are two teams in particular, and that's Manchester City and Chelsea, that are in big trouble potentially. Everton are fine. I think they're going to, survive. I think it's interesting, though, the timing of it, because if they had done it last year, what's the decision making into why this is, a decision that's made now versus, in March or April, where if that happened then, they weren't going to survive. They were going to be down in the championship with the new stadium coming in. So very interesting timing for me. I think Everton's fine. I have no concerns about them surviving. The bottom 4 or 5 of the Premier League is so bad that they're going to figure it out, and they were playing pretty good. Overall they're healthy. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's been good. So in terms of the stuff on the field, Everton's going to remain in the Premier League after this season. I don't have any worries about that. But yeah, did not expect this. But again, I think the bigger story is what's going to happen for these bigger teams that could face much worse if the punishments are what are warranted in our opinions, because City have so many breaches of financial fair play.
115.
Yeah, and I think it is unfortunate that Jacob's not here, because to tell the side of the story for Chelsea would be nice. And I know he talked a little bit in the chat about Abramovich and having to sell the club and all these different things. So their punishment's kind of been handled in his opinion. I don't know if that's necessarily true. But yeah, Everton did not expect this at all, and certainly didn't expect the point deduction, because I don't think it's ever happened in the Premier League. We've seen it in some other leagues, but did not expect to see that news last week.
I just want to say regarding the timing of this, the reason that it was given now is because they just couldn't get it all, they just couldn't do it in time. They
That's
just,
understandable.
the trials, they took a long time, and so that's the reasoning behind that. But man, 10 points for one breach. I mean, there's so much. It's kind of. I don't know if you guys think this is harsh. I feel like maybe it is a little bit, but from what I was reading just on ESPN, Gab Marcotti, who's ESPN FC legend, saying that this wasn't the intent, it wasn't intentional.
It was in good faith.
It was in good faith, exactly. And it's just COVID happened the year before, because this was during the 2021-22 season. And I think there's something about Russian partnership that they had to depart or separate from because of the war. So that more losses there. So it just all mounted. It just kind of added up and turned into this essentially. But it is a bit harsh. But like you said, Christian, I'm not really worried about them getting relegated. But I also saw where it was which team was Southampton, Leicester City, that they're all trying to take legal action against Everton for this. That's a whole different side of the story that, I mean, that's going to unfold over the next few months also. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But there's so much, I mean, monetary stuff. I mean, that goes for the 3 clubs we just mentioned, in Chelsea, Man City, Everton. I mean, it's just, they're all different. They all have their own nuances, but still, I mean, if this is the punishment you're giving to Everton, I don't know. I can't even imagine what you're going to give out to City. And
better be something.
I think they will. I think they will, and I think the reason why that's the complete reason why they're taking longer to hand that out. And to be frank, I think they gave Everton, I think this was great time to give the punishment. They're giving Everton plenty
Yes.
of time to,
That's true.
so they're waiting on Man City. And imagine how crucial that would be if that comes down near the end of the season and Man City's in contention for another Premier League title.
Yeah, and we saw it last year in Serie A, very different situation, and
Juve.
we don't follow that league as much, so it's not something we understand how much of an impact that had. Juve, I think, had a deduction, got it back, then were deducted less points.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Like,
It was a 15-point deduction.
and then they had appealed it, and then they won.
Yeah.
And then it got reduced.
Because Juve was going to finish in the top 4 last year.
Yeah, they were going to be in Champions League play, but it pushed them all the way.
Got in there anyway.
Yeah.
Deduction, which tells you a lot about the second-tier teams in Italy. But yeah, they need to take a long time with this, especially with the amount of breaches. I don't know how many Chelsea has. I know it's been public about 115 or 116 for Manchester City.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't even come to a decision this season. It might take till next.
Oh, yeah.
Just how long and how big the process is. I can't believe we're in this situation, but they need a decision and they got to get the right one. So I'm totally cool with them taking as long as they want.
And like they're framing it too, they're not in like what Ricardo was saying. Everton, I mean, they didn't lie. Like Man City flat out lied about like their budget and everything.
Yes.
Everton was just, stupid.
Yeah.
That's totally different. Completely different situations. Everton, they reported in their budget that season that they would finish 6th in the Premier League. And they ended up finishing 16th in the Premier League that season. So, I mean, they were just being dumb, which, fine, it's Everton. It's whatever. It's fine. So I don't think this is too drastic, to be honest. And like I said, the timing, I think, is in service of Everton. I can't imagine Man City and Chelsea. I cannot imagine what that's going to be. City will be the worst one. Now, if you're going by like amount of breaches per point, or if one charge is 10 points.
10 points, yeah.
Yeah, like
I saw people
you have 115
in terms of breaches.
Like that's insane. So I don't think it will come to the point where they relegate City. I don't think that will happen. I think
that's tremendous.
I think the FA, the Premier League, needs Manchester City. So
yes.
And they need that ownership group. So I don't think that's happening. Could I see some titles being stripped? Potentially.
I mean,
but kind of like an NCAA violation. I could see that. But yeah, I don't think it's anything too drastic.
I mean, the other thing with this is like there's nothing for them to base it off of. Like this is all like new.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. It's like because this has never really happened or it's been punished before. Like it's just what they decide, what the punishment is. Like that'll be really interesting. There's no way they're gonna relegate them. Like that would be extreme, but who knows? It'll be. I mean, yeah, like you said, Christian. I doubt they'll have this figured out by the end of the season and in May. Like they're gonna take their time with this. So
yeah. But Everton fans should be happy. That's all I'm going to say. I think this is fairly decent news, considering of course you're not going to be happy that you just lost 10 points, but could have been worse, and it doesn't seem like they're in bad standing with the Premier League. So
yeah,
we'll wait and see. What do we got next? Oh, we got okay. Wow, this has been a fast episode so far. But it's time to move on. We don't have a rant of the week. I mean, I guess we did have a rant of the week. We ranted on Sergiño Dest. The collective rant of the week on Sergiño Dest. So okay, that counts. take that back. But we're already on to our quick fire questions. And this week it's gonna be a little different. We got some big matchups this weekend. So we're gonna be predicting those fixtures. First up, Friday, we have PSG and Monaco. PSG is first in the Ligue 1 table. Monaco was there for a part of the season, but now Monaco is third, only 3 points behind PSG. So a win would put them right back at the top, with Nice in between them. But what do you boys think about PSG Monaco?
Oh, that's
I will say I think this benefits Monaco given that it's coming right off the international break, because PSG has looked better recently, particularly in the league, because early in the season they had some poor results.
They're in great form.
I think Monaco gets a draw here. They've had a couple results on the road at PSG in recent years. I like this to go 2-2. Val getting scores off the bench.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
that'd be great.
I'm struggling. I thought about it and was like, well, PSG just lost Zaire Emery to an injury.
Yeah.
So I was also kind of swaying towards a draw, but there's just a part of me that feels like PSG is gonna squeak one out here, and it's just they have more talent overall, and like you said, they have been playing better as of late. So just based off that, I'm gonna say PSG wins 2-1.
PSG is also at home for this match,
Yes.
so it's advantage for them there. I think this is gonna be. I hate to say it, I'll be rooting for Monaco. This will be a PSG beatdown. I think this will be. I think it's gonna be. I'll give Monaco a goal. I think it'll be 3-1, but I think PSG will look dominant throughout the match. PSG they've won their last 5 league matches. They're in great form in the league, and we'll see what happens about Zaire Emery, because that is a great point. They just one of the many casualties at the international window.
That would have been the rant of the week, honestly. I mean, we were texting literally it felt like every 15 minutes. Oh, here comes a report. Okay, this guy's out for this time.
I mean, let's you know what? Let's quickly talk about it. I mean, like Vinicius Jr. is out for a few months now because not because of explosive diarrhea, but because of something much worse.
Legitimate,
legitimate injury. Very depressing.
A thigh injury. I think it was the other thigh that he injured previously, and now it's this other one. So again, not exactly ideal.
Are we getting to the point with Vinny where he's starting to become,
Don't say Neymar. Do not say that, please.
No, I'm not saying Neymar. I'm just saying
I was going to lose my mind if you said that.
No, I wasn't going to say Neymar. No.
Okay, good.
No, just a little injury prone. That's all I'm going to say.
In other news, Bobby Decordova-Reid is at the penalty spot to give Jamaica an advantage over Canada.
Oh boy! This will be big. What? How much time?
It is the 78th minute. It's 2-2, and they have the goals of the away goal. So if he scores this, which he's taking it right now, and he scores, Jamaica are going through right now.
Hey, and you know what?
Miguel Antonio, who got injured in the first leg. So this is going to be terrible for Canada if they fall apart. But I had to mention that because I saw it was 2-2. I was like, this is actually
crazy.
I'm going to put it on right now on the side. If I can find it. Concacaf Nations League.
I guess the Concacaf
Canada, Jamaica. This is in Canada too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Canada's home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's wow. Jeez.
Well, this sets us up for a good game with Mexico. They better give us the fireworks.
No. Did Jamaica
Live up
score?
to the hype, I'm sure. Yeah, no, they won't.
Wow. But yeah, Vinny's out. Gavi tore his ACL.
Oh, that's brutal.
So
Like
he's
I know
out.
he plays for Barcelona,
I know but
but
he's
it's
really one of the more, impressive young players in the world. I like Gavi.
I do too.
I think it's
Especially
funny
going into the
too.
Euros too. It would have been really nice to see him
Yeah,
in Spain. So that's really unfortunate.
It's I have a soft spot for Gavi because my brother's name is Gavin, and
yeah.
and they're both the same age, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, no, Gavi's out. I mean, man,
Kamavinga.
Kamavinga.
Our
Oh my
guy
god,
is out. Our guy
dude,
Kamavinga,
dude,
the guy who plays every position possible.
the boy wonder. I he has to be one of the most likable players in the world, and he does not deserve this. I'm gonna miss Kamavinga.
Oh, that one really
But
hurt me when I saw it. I was like, oh
brutal.
my god! And then that
He's been
picture,
playing so well. He's been
yeah,
playing so well. No matter what position he's at, he's
exactly.
literally everywhere.
He always is just solid.
So
Wherever
reliable.
he plays.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm glad it's not season ending, but
No, yeah,
still
it's just
not ideal either.
yeah.
But it sucks. But there's Holland too got injured.
Holland, yeah.
That's
And
a big one.
how about Norway in general? I mean,
Oh man,
just man, brutal that they can't make it to the Euros.
you
Not
hate
even a playoff.
Not even the playoff. Yeah,
I want to see Holland in one of those European competitions at some point. Like
it's
it's
just
just sad he's not.
yeah. I mean, Norway having Odegaard and I mean,
It's just they don't have enough talent
yeah.
yet. But
I mean, but yeah, no. Lots of injuries this window. Brutal window for Weston McKennie. Didn't play the second leg, but I think that's a much less severe injury than all the others we've been talking about. There's talk of him even playing. Actually, one of the matches we're going to preview later, Juve and Inter, which let's talk about right now. Let's talk about Juve Inter. Inter is top of the table at Serie A right now. I think Inter wins this, but I mean Juve's right behind them. And this will be a home match for Juve and Turin. So, I mean, I think it'll be close. I'm thinking Inter 1-0. I think it's gonna be low scoring.
yeah,
but it's gonna be electric in Turin.
I kind of agree, but like a part of me is also like this gives a draw, like 1-1 draw, but
I totally see a draw too. Yeah.
I mean, Juve's been good all season, Inter as well, and for some reason, I feel like Juve also somehow find ways to win like 1-0 games too. This season especially. I will say Inter will get one, I'll say 1-1 overall.
Yeah, I'm looking at their matches right now. It appears they haven't lost a match at home. They only have one loss, which was against the Swallow on the road in September. Inter right now are the best defense in Italy. I like Lautaro to score, and Chiesa. I 1-1.
Fagioli, no. An extension.
He's gonna bet on the over on goals, but no, bet on the under. I mean,
yeah.
No. We all agreed low scoring there.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be hype there. Liverpool, Man City. Christian, you should go first on this one.
It does suck that it's at 7:30 on Saturday.
That is some awful timing.
Can I just say this? Why is it at 7:30?
Like,
this should be the late one.
12:30 kickoff, no question.
So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That really annoys me, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm very upset about it because I have to leave the house at 9 to go to work, so I'm gonna miss the end. But
I don't. What I will say is, City have a couple guys they're going to need to have come back from injury. Liverpool are in a little better of a situation in terms of absentees. I think this is a free hit for Liverpool. They need to. I mean, if they get a win, massive changes in the title race. I mean, it's very early, but to win at the Etihad would be massive. It's not something we've done. I don't know. I can't even recall the last time in the league. I know we did it in the Champions League once, but yeah, I think this has draw written all over it. Just given the players that City could be without or are going to be dealing with knocks. Liverpool have played them well in certain moments. I mean, last year was kind of an anomaly, particularly on the road. They got beat pretty handily. I like 2-2 here. Yeah, I think City finds a way to get a point here, and I think Liverpool will take that given their recent run at the Etihad.
Real quick interruption. Jamaica Canada update. Damari Gray just got hit with a red card in the 84th minute. So
Jesus.
now Jamaica's
world?
playing with 10 men.
What are they doing?
Yep. So yep, still up 3-2, but
Oh my lord.
yeah. So.
Was it a straight red or double yellow?
I believe it was a straight straight red.
Oh god.
Yep.
I cannot wait to see that on my feed.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah. Especially for a player like Damari Gray who's playing in the Premier League. Like that's inexcusable. Like I didn't see what happened.
No, he's in Saudi now.
Oh, is he in Saudi now? I totally forgot.
He's at
I'm still thinking he's in Everton. I haven't watched Everton all year.
I don't even remember that.
He's at how do you pronounce Gerard's club? I don't know how. I can only
oh god.
I only can pronounce El Nasser because it's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's at
I don't.
Oh yeah, it's my club. It's my club. Al Ittifaq.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
he's there.
Yeah. Oh god, I totally forgot he left. God.
I don't remember that happening.
That's funny. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Oh, well, I guess it comes with the league. But anyways, back to Man City Liverpool. Yeah, Ricardo, you're going
1-1. I'm gonna keep saying. I've been saying 1-1 a lot for a lot of my predictions really recently, but I feel like they will be playing each other like close. It'll be like it'll be a tight game. I think so. But if Holland's out, I might change that and say Liverpool win. But that's a big. I think he said he's gonna play.
I think he's fine.
Yeah. So 1-1. I'll say.
No shame in a Man City win. If that's the way you're leaning.
No.
Say it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
His head makes me think he might be saying Liverpool.
No. I'm thinking 2-2 draw.
Okay.
I'm thinking 2-2 draw. I think it's gonna be a flurry on both sides. Both sides will be pushing each other down, counterattack. 2-2. Now, if Holland's out, I'll give the edge to Liverpool. But I think Holland will play.
Yeah.
So 2-2. But Man City, very vulnerable, like we've been saying the past few weeks. So I Liverpool win outright isn't out of the question. But I got to give Man City the respect they deserve at this point of the season. So 2-2. Newcastle Chelsea, another interesting matchup this weekend.
Where is that game?
That is, let me tell you.
St. James.
If my thing can load. Well, I think the doc I noticed isn't accurate, so let me make sure.
Yeah,
yep, it's at St. James.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Talk about a team that's got a lot of injuries. That's Newcastle.
Oh yeah.
I like Chelsea to go there and get a point. I really liked how they played against Man City. The 2 weeks is going to be a good test for both these teams because Newcastle are coming off maybe their worst performance, and understandable given all the players they're missing right now. Playing a bunch of teenagers off the bench. Yeah, I like Chelsea to get a 1-1 draw. We're talking a lot of draws here, but this one all written all over it.
Mm.
I don't really want to give it a draw, but
Nice.
you know what?
Draw.
Here we go.
Say Chelsea wins. I dare you.
I was almost gonna say Chelsea wins 2-1. Newcastle wins 2-1. Newcastle wins
Okay.
2-1.
I can't.
I
see
still
that.
think they're just. I trust them more than Chelsea. I know they have injuries, but I just trust them as a team, and I trust Eddie Howe.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
I think they have the managerial advantage with Eddie Howe. I mean, I think they'll be okay. 2-1. They're at home. Chelsea will look respectable. It won't be, a demolition, but be 2-1 late goal from Newcastle, give the edge.
I'm gonna say 2-2. I think this has drama written all over it, just because the back line is very injured. I mean, yeah, for Newcastle at least. So I think they'll be more vulnerable conceding, but they also still attack very well. They're still a very good attacking team. So, and then Chelsea. I mean, you saw obviously against City, let up 4 goals, but that's also City.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just leaning 2-2. I think it's going to be a pretty entertaining game.
Here's my thing. Like, yes, I know. Wow. I know. Sorry, Canada Jamaica is very intriguing. At the end, 9 minutes of stoppage time coming up in Canada Jamaica. So the Concacaf continues, but Newcastle. I mean, even though they have injuries in the back line, I just what Jacob said. Jacob's hallmark: finish. I don't trust. I mean, I know Chelsea's been on a scoring tear recently, but I don't trust them to finish. I don't like their options up top. But they have been in better form lately offensively, so who knows? But still giving it to Newcastle. But in our last match, also in the Premier League, Tottenham and Aston Villa. So right now Tottenham's 4th on the table, and Villa is, I believe they're 5th, right?
5th.
Yeah,
1 point behind.
Yep. Yeah, excuse me. 1 point behind Tottenham. And this match will be,
I think this is out in London.
Yeah, it's in London. It's at Hotspur Stadium. Yep.
Yeah.
Villa's been very respectable all year. They've been a sneaky team all year. Like you always forget they're 5th.
Yeah.
But hey, preseason, I had them in the Champions League. And right now, of Tottenham's current form, I got to go Villa.
Yeah, and the injuries too.
Yep.
On top of that.
Yep.
For Spurs. So yeah.
Yep. I'm going Villa. I'll say I still think there'll be. I still think Tottenham's still be able to score goals maybe, but I'll go 3-2 Villa.
Oh, 3-2. Wow.
I think they'll find a way to score some goals, but I think Villa pushes through in the end.
I was gonna say 2-1, but I mean, I was gonna say Ollie Watkins brace, but oof, I mean that would be something. Maybe 3-2.
I think 3-2.
There's always that one game on the weekend that just
like very random.
Yeah, it's just like there's more goals than you expect, but maybe this is one of them. Who knows? But I'm gonna say 2-1. Villa wins.
Oof. Looking at their results right now, Villa ranks 13th in the Prem with away points so far. They have 7 from 6 games. That's my only concern. But again, their losses in the league have only been to really big teams. Newcastle, they got beat really badly all the way back in August. That was on the road. They lost to Liverpool, which was a convincing performance for them, 3-0 in September. I think with context, this seems to me like a draw. But again, I think I lean closer to a Villa win than Tottenham finding a way to get 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they performed against Wolves is really concerning because Wolves deserve 3 points. And it took them a while to score. But Tottenham are in bad form, a ton of injuries coming off the break. Villa are as dangerous as they come in the Prem. I think I'm going to lean 2 apiece, but I would not be surprised if Villa walks away with this game getting everything.
Valid.
Yep. So, yep. Spurs in some dangerous shape right now, but still a long way to go in the season.
What does Brighton have this weekend?
We got honestly, I forgot.
Forest.
A fall.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got Forest on Saturday, right?
Y'all better win. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jacobs continue to put pressure on you.
It's gonna be a 1-1 draw, and we'll like it.
Panic.
No. Brighton. I'll give a quick score prediction. I think. I believe we're home for this match too. Let me confirm that.
You're on the road.
Are we on the road?
I was about to say that means nothing.
That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I mean Brighton still should win. Like, they still should win at least 2-1. But it's weird. I mean, Premier League, their offense has been shaky, but I mean, they put up 2-0 performances against Ajax. I don't know. It's weird, but I mean, the Sheffield game, I know they drew, and I told you I was fine. Like, I was okay. They didn't lose. I still should have scored more than,
than one, yeah.
Than one goal against Sheffield United. So they're a little shaky, but they still should find a way against Forest. So I'll say 2-1.
You want to discuss Madrid before we go?
Yeah,
absolutely. I want to leave you guys out on that.
No, we got to talk Madrid, and yeah. And I know where I know we're away for that one. I did search it up earlier, but
16th place, Cadiz. Absolutely. I mean, that sounds like a win to me.
It's gonna be a demolition.
Jude's gonna be back for that.
Wait, who'd you say?
Sorry, do you think Jude's gonna be available?
Oh,
I think so.
I was reading up that he'll be okay. Yeah, I was reading up he'll be okay, and we especially need him now.
I mean, I still think we have more quality than Cadiz.
Oh, I'm not talking about for this match. No, I'm just talking in general. In general, we need.
Oh, in general, yeah, no.
Because with Vinny out, and I mean,
yeah, if it's not for this game, then it'd probably be.
Yeah,
one of the other two.
It's not gonna be that much longer for Jude to come back.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about Jude.
I'm gonna say. Can I just say 3-0?
I don't think that's outlandish at all.
Ricardo, I was gonna say 4-0. So don't worry about that. This
kind of has a lot of goals coming.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I've been saying matches weren't gonna be demolitions throughout. This is gonna be a demolition.
Okay,
this is
they're not terrible defensively. I will say that. But
yeah, but Real Madrid. It's more so Real Madrid has. It's
over 90 minutes. They're gonna break down.
Yeah, and it's more so Madrid has
at least 2 or 3.
Such a massive quality advantage, even with their injuries.
Yeah, Brahim Diaz is gonna score.
Oh, my guy, Brahim Diaz.
Carvajal's gonna score another one.
Another header. He's gonna have a screamer of a header. Somehow, with him and his 45-inch vertical leap. I love. But yeah, no, it should be. It should be a dub. And with the I'm gonna take a quick peek at the La Liga table.
2 points behind Girona. Still, I believe,
biggest surprise here.
You know what? Like I said earlier, if it's not Real Madrid winning, I hope it's Girona. So
yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. As long as it's not Barca or Atletico.
Exactly.
I'll be
or
like,
Sevilla.
we've Madrid's just one of those teams where I'm just like, we've won enough. Like, it's okay if like
No, you can never
if
win
a smaller
enough,
if
Andrew.
a smaller club takes it. Now, if it's
They're the less
Barca, if it's Barca or Atletico, no, don't deserve it. Don't deserve it. But I'm fine with sacrificing a title if it means a smaller club, like say Leicester City, like you said, gets that opportunity for once in their lives. Like, I'm okay. I'm not that evil. I'll be okay. I'll cope.
I agree.
But when we're contending with a Barca or Atletico, no, absolutely not. Not content with losing at that point.
No rivals, please.
No. And Jamaica just qualified to
Unbelievable.
the semifinal in Copa America. How about that? In Canada.
Jeez, that's crazy.
It was a
World
great
Cup,
crowd in
this is getting
Canada
worse
too.
and worse.
This is oh man.
Unreal.
If
See?
Honduras wins now,
They are
Oh,
winning. What do you
boy.
mean? They're going to qualify.
no, just then you have 2 playoff spots remaining for Copa America. Oh, CONMEBOL, they might have to make some weird funny exception just to have Mexico
No, Mexico's not
if they don't
making it.
make it.
They're not getting it.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be the
They're
greatest
just
thing.
not.
They're like, if you go on Copa America's website and like you sign up for tickets, they're like, oh, who's your favorite national team? And there's only like 3 CONCACAF teams.
Yeah.
It's US, Canada, and Mexico.
No, that's
So it'd be funny if Canada and Mexico don't make it.
yeah.
I already signed up. That's why I know. I already signed up for ticket information
Nice.
for the US. But yeah. Oh man, hilarious. CG's on the field right now. So, good for Jamaica though. The Reggae
Yes.
Boys, very good. They're a quality CONCACAF side. I think. I mean, they're easily the top 4 CONCACAF is USA, Mexico, Canada, Jamaica. I think
Panama deserves a
but-
shout though.
but-
Given the way they've
Panama,
performed in
yeah.
the last 2 tournaments,
Yeah.
and Jamaica have underperformed, which we've mentioned.
It's very
I
true.
know we talked about that last week. It just hasn't been good enough for every dual national they've brought in. They should have some trophy. I don't know which one, but they should have something by now.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, El Salvador's gotten better. They're not like, they're not these world beaters, but I'm just saying, like, teams have gotten better as well, like El Salvador and that CONCACAF video I watched, Curacao. I'm like, I was laughing, but they did get better. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it? All right. Sounds good. You don't have Jacob screaming in our ears, so that's great. All right.
We missed that.
No, we missed Jacob. Don't think I'm being serious with that, please. He's probably gonna leave the podcast now because of that. Gotta watch out.
The only way is if Milan gets out of the group.
Oh! Speaking of, I mean, I gotta talk about this. Mr. Brian Ramos sent me a snap memory.
That's my cue to leave.
The one at the World Cup?
Yeah, the Wales USA.
Today's the 1 year
anniversary. The 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, he sent me. Okay, we all got that.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah, and I was like, yep. And I just immediately thought that's where his love for Captain Italy started. That's where his love. That's where it sparked for Mr. Brian Ramos.
Watching in the cab on the campus of Marist College.
What a moment! What a life! Yeah. We context. We had a watch party for USA Wales on this giant, massive projection screen. It was like we were in a movie theater almost, and it was a great experience watching Tim Weah's goal. But then,
Walker Zimmerman was.
I was very angry, very angry. And Gareth Bale, my guy too. It had to be my guy, Gareth Bale, who had to destroy our hopes and dreams. We still made it out of the group, but
Yes.
It was
So.
depressing sight. All right. I guess that's all we have for this week. Next week, for sure, we'll be talking the Premier League. We'll be talking all these matchups we previewed.
League, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Champions League match week.
So.
CBS will be in Miami for match day 5. So that'll be a fun studio show. So, yeah, we'll catch up on all that when the time comes. All right.
Yeah.
Christian Ricardo, thanks for coming out. Jacob, see you later. Oh, you got the balloons.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
In honor of Jacob. That's great. All right, boys. Great talking to you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone who watch us in the U.S. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Do some good shopping. Enjoy the sales. Maybe get some kits in the process. Who knows?
Smart man.
Maybe World Soccer Shop has some solid deals. I don't know. All right, boys. Until next week. Peace out.